Hello, my name is Adeshola. Welcome to my vlog. In this video, I will be showing you my 12 hours road trip from Mazamaza, Lagos to Achimota in Ghana. This is the Chisco Park in Mazamaza, Lagos, and that's when we traveled. A bus to Ghana cost 100,000 naira, and this covers all services such as stamping at the borders, etc. Of course, I had my malts and I had my chips as well, getting ready for the journey. We traveled in this very comfortable Oma bus and journeyed through Iyanoba, Agbara, and before you know it, we got to Badagry. There were about 11 to 12 stops before we got to Seme. The stops ranged from checks from the NDLEA, the custom officers, police officers, and so on. This is my face. I had to show you my face. I was sealing myself on my way to Ghana because I topped it up with my malt, and we headed off for Seme. Ensure you watch till the end as I'll be sharing with you the requirements to travel to Ghana. This is Seme. Seme is the border between Nigeria and Republic of Benin. That was me and my friend. We were waiting for capturing, and you'll be needing your passport and your yellow card to travel to Ghana. You don't you can also travel with your NIN if you don't have your international passport. But you'll be needing to pay some amount of money because in our own case, people paid 5,000 naira for clearance. This is immediately after Seme. Once you head out of Seme, this is the view. Benin Republic is a very beautiful country that houses about 15 million people. It is once the heart of powerful Dahomey Kingdom. It is the birthplace of voodoo, a deeply recognized spiritual practice. Actually, they hold an annual festival for this voodoo practice in the Wida Kingdom. It is bordered by Nigeria to the east, Togo to the west, Burkina Faso, and Niger to the north. Though Port Novo is the country's capital, however, Cotonou is the country's largest city. Their official currency is CFA, and while their official language is French, the locals often speak Fon and Yoruba languages. Another thing that is worthy of note is that they have a dedicated lane for motorbikes, popularly known as Okada in Nigeria. This makes it a little bit orderly. I see the country as an orderly country where people mind their businesses, a very clean road. I don't know if they have road managers like we have in Lagos. However, I could see that their roads were neat and very, very clean. Please note that once you leave the Seme border, you will no longer be able to use your Nigerian network. You would get a prompt to roam, and of course we all know that roaming is quite expensive. So if you don't want to roam, then be ready to be out of network for the most part of the journey. This is Wida. Wida is one of the ancient cities in Benin Republic. It is the home to the voodoo spiritual practice. Here, an annual festival is held to celebrate voodoo. We were able to get stuff here, we were able to buy stuff here. We bought this bread that I'm not a fan of. I didn't really like the taste. Our driver had to pay a token for us to pass the toll gate, and then we continued on our journey. We spent about 4 hours from Seme border to the next border, which is the Ilakonji border. This is Gamvi, a floating village in Benin Republic. It is often called the Venice of Africa. It is home to around 20,000 people. This entire village is built on stilts over water, and the residents use canoes for transportation. After a while, I slept a little, nature had to take its course, and then we had a stopover here just before the Ilakoji border where we had to change our naira to Ghana cedis. 100 Ghana cedis is worth 1,050 naira. This means that 1,000 Ghana cedis is 10,500. It was also a good opportunity for us to stretch our legs after another 4 hours journey. When we got here, the Ilakonji border, it's the border between Benin Republic and Togo. Here, our driver took our passports for stamping and then we continued our journey. Welcome to Togo, guys. Togo is also another beautiful country with very, very beautiful views. Our journey was pretty smooth thanks to our experienced driver. I got his name. He told me his name was Mr. Bernard. Mr. Bernard, if you're watching this video, thank you. You gave me a very good experience for a road trip to Ghana. As you can see, they have beautiful roads, very good roads. So, there was no bagagbugo, And then we got to another toll gate where our driver had to pay some sefa for us to move. Togo is also a French-speaking country and their official currency is sefa. Togo, although small in size, it also offers a rich blend of culture, nature, and history. It is surrounded by a lot of beautiful beaches, and one of the places you may love to explore is Lake Togo. This is their port. This is their seaport in Togo. A very beautiful sight to behold. We also learned that clearing here is quite easy and it's the fastest. Yes, Togo is a very beautiful place, and I also noticed that most of their commuters, they like to use a motorbike as well. It's very similar to that of Benin Republic. I've mentioned earlier on, there are so many beautiful beaches in Togo, and one thing that is worthy of note for me here is that there were so many bikes parked on the road and the owners were not beside the bikes. And to an extent, it just shows how safe the country is to me. On this very day that we traveled, it was a public holiday also in Nigeria. It was also a public holiday here in Togo. However, I'm not sure what they were celebrating, but there were lots of people on the road. There were lots of people at their beaches wearing matching outfits. Some were in Ankara fabrics. It was fun. You could tell that they were happy and they were having the time of their lives. For some reasons, I captured my driver while he was behind the steering. Why not? It gave me a very good experience on a road trip to Ghana. There we were very close to the border, to the Aflao border. The Aflao border is the border between Togo and Ghana. We spent about 2 hours from the Ilakonji border to the Aflao border. We captured at the Aflao border. This is your first view immediately you leave the capture room. I said, okay, let me just quickly check the nature. I went to the beach side that is just beside the Aflao border. It's by the right. I went there. I went to feel the nature, a very beautiful beach. And then we went back into the bus and headed for Achimota. Achimota from Aflao border is another 3 hours journey. And you can tell here is Ghana. Welcome to Ghana, guys. Welcome to Ghana. In Ghana, their lingua franca is English. However, they also have local languages like Tiwi and Ga. Well, I learned how to say thank you in Tiwi language. It said it's Midasi. I learned Midasi. Alright, so it was getting really dark here, and one of the things that I didn't really enjoy was the fact that I was hungry and I didn't really have much options on the way. I didn't want to load myself with so much food before leaving the park so that I don't get pressed on the journey. Of course, you should stay tuned to this channel because I'll be documenting my lifestyle in Ghana for the period of time that I spent there. In total, we spent 12 hours to get to Achimota. And this is me saying, Midasi, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe.